Good evening, YouTube. Jeep and Bubba here, and I'm in Jennings, Florida at a KOA. We're just across the line from Georgia, and tomorrow we're going to start the Georgia Adventure Trail, known as the GAT, Florida all the way to North Carolina. Now we have 3 days. Will we be able to finish it? I'm not sure, but hang in there with us and let's see what we can do. I'm going to throw some drone up and let's get some shots tonight, and tomorrow I'm going to talk more about this trip, and we'll be headed on it first thing in the morning. Good morning, YouTube. We are just about to leave the KOA. Went ahead and took the chance while we're here to fill up our water tanks, pressurize them, and then they have propane here. So we brought our gas fire, and we burned like 4 gallons out of the 20-gallon tank last night. So got it topped off so that we're gonna have plenty of propane for the rest of the trip. So today is Sunday, and we have to be back by Tuesday night, so we've got about 3 solid days. We're gonna hit the trail and see how far we can make it. We're hoping for North Carolina, but if we end up around Athens or something, I'd really be okay, because I've done most of the trail from Athens up. But anyways, stayed at this KOA in Jennings. It is like 10 minutes from the trailhead. I'm not a fan of KOAs, but this was a very nice facility. Everyone was friendly here, clean. It's right off the highway, so there's some noise from that, but you've got showers, there's a playground, there's a pool, there's a laundry facility. I mean, it's really nice for like 50 bucks. It's hard to beat. The rest of the campsites will be free for us for the rest of the trip. So let's get started on the Georgia Adventure Trail. We will be hitting the trailhead right about now. All right, there it is, the beginning, the Georgia state line. Just crossing to Eccles County. There we are. Where's Luke Combs? Alright, so we are on the Georgia Adventure Trail, already hitting a little sand. Right off the bat, you're right off road, that's awesome. Wanted to take this moment just to say we have 24 PSI in our Jeep tires, 20 in the trailer tires, and we are currently not disconnected. We're gonna find out if we should connect here soon. I'm gonna see how it feels. We do have the JKS J-Flex system, so it gives us a little bit of give, a little bit of flex, but we'll see. I know it's pretty washboardy, so we'll see if we need to air these tires down anymore, and I'll report that back to you. So when you run the trail, you'll know. About 2 hours in, and it's a lot of these farm roads. We're right next to a cotton field here. We've passed a bunch of fruit trees, citrus trees, things like that, and you can tell that the sides of these roads get wet, so you want to stay in the middle of the road for sure. You can see, like, kind of hard to see here, but down in this ditch, it's soft. You step down in there, or even drive down in there, it's real swampy. So, but besides that, really cool views, nice and sandy. Jeep and trailer are doing good. I think our PSIs are good. You know, you're gonna have to hit some asphalt here and there, so you don't want to go too low. I mean, the trailer might be able to take it down a little bit, but it's not bouncing much. I think we're good with 20 in the trailer, and we're not hauling a whole lot of weight. So 20 in the trailer, and we're at 22 in the Jeep, but it's warmed up to about 24. So we stopped to let the kids pee, grabbed a PB&J out of the cooler, and we're gonna keep on heading down the road. We just went through Lakeland, Florida. That was the first town we saw with food in a grocery store or any kind of civilization since we started in Valdosta. So if you're looking for lunch and you're starting in the morning in Valdosta, top tip, you could probably grab something at the Hardee's or the Wings and Things. And I even saw a Piggly Wiggly. So, which way are we going here, right? Left, sure? Oh yeah, that looks right. So we're following along with Gaia, and it seems to be working pretty well. And here, hold this for a second, Nicole. I've been using the Relive app to track us since we started. So we're just at 2 hours in of driving, and we've gone 45 miles. So I believe this is 520 for the full length of it. But so we're averaging, 22 miles per hour basically in the first couple hours of it. So I'm going to use this pretty much all day to see how quickly somebody can do this trail. I didn't see that in any of the other YouTube videos, and there was a lot of great YouTube videos, but I didn't see a lot of good information about kind of how long it takes. So we're using this experience maybe to educate folks if they want to come out and ride this trail. So keep riding. Alright guys, we've made it to Hawkinsville, Georgia, and this is the first gas stop we've seen since Lakeland. I guess you could get off the road a little bit and maybe find some gas or something, but this is the first major town since Lakeland, the only second major town we've seen. We've gone 170 miles since starting this morning. Other than stopping to use the bathroom or get something out of the fridge, we've basically not stopped. We've gone wide open to make that 170 miles, so I'm not so certain everyone will be able to get that many miles in. We're averaging probably 25 miles an hour, and we're really trying to make it up towards the Macon area to camp tonight. One of the few places I saw you could camp, maybe break this up a little bit, was there is a WMA. I'll tell you the name of it. Sorry, I'm just in the parking lot of the gas station. We just topped off gas here. I burned about a half a tank to get here. I do have 5 gallons with us if we need it, but it's called the ALAPAHA River WMA. So maybe Alapaha, I don't know how you pronounce that, but it's near Tifton Highway and 5 Bridge Road, and there's some camping over there, but we're gonna keep pushing on. We're, like I said, in Hawkinsville, hoping to make it up closer to Macon, Griffin area, but I'm not sure we can do it. Sunset's in about 2 hours, and I'd prefer to set up about an hour before sunset. So we're gonna run in here and get a snack. We topped the gas off, so I'm feeling good about that. Got a little dirtier than I wanted to. I mean, some of these roads are really, really wet, and there's just no way around it. You're gonna sling it. One cool thing, I don't normally run this tarp system on our trailer, but I decided to put it on today, and that's saving us a good bit from our gear and stuff just getting muddy. But there's a good accumulation on the tent and on the fenders and stuff, and that's fine. We're going off-road, right? Basically, I've used 2-wheel drive all day, other than a couple of really soft sections. I threw it in 4 high. I've had traction control off. But of that 170 miles, I want to say maybe 15 of those miles maybe on road. It's been a lot of off-road, a lot more off-road than the Georgia Traverse is, at least during their section right here. So we're gonna keep filming. I'll update you as we get to camp. We're gonna just keep on rolling, see how far we can make it. It'd be cool to get 200 miles in a day. That's a lot. The most I think I've ever done off-road in one day is like 60, maybe 100 miles, and that's usually pretty rough. So surprising how many miles we've actually been able to put on today. So we're in the Okaloosa, and I have no idea how to pronounce that, WMA, and we just came up upon what looks to be a completely closed road. Let's take a look at it. It looks like some people have made a bypass that doesn't look too legal here. The road we need to be on is right over this. Looks pretty washed out. It looks like there's actually a vehicle coming from the other side. We're gonna probably have to turn around and backtrack. And we were actually thinking about camping here tonight. We've got about an hour left before sunset. I'd like to set up. So we're trying to figure out land use permits because you need one in WMA. Even the sign says even if you have a fishing or hunting license, it doesn't apply. So we'll see. Okay, we backtracked and we're on this in Stillness WMA. Oh, pig tracks, cool. We're in this, I don't know how you say it, Uckamugly or something. Anyways, I just went through a big mud hole back there. Tried to avoid it the best I can, but the whole road was covered. So, we heard an awful noise when we came out of it. We almost got stuck. Had to really sling some dirt and mud. And I'm gonna show you guys something. This is I've never seen before, but I can fix it. So I heard this grinding noise, and if you can look in here, there is a rock. Literally a rock. There it is. Sorry for the bad filming. There's a rock wedge between my caliper and the wheel, and it's grinding the metal of the wheel, and it ripped all my wheel weights off. So I'm gonna definitely have a tire out of balance on the way home. So I'm gonna grab a stick, push it out, and then if we feel the vibration too bad in the back on the way home, I'll just put my spare on. But not too big of a deal. It sounded like I broke a drive shaft because it just sounded like a rotational noise. So I'm just gonna find me a dead stick out here and we'll push it out. All right, that was it. That was caught between my caliper and my wheel. So it might be out of balance. It's in the back. We probably won't feel it. But if we do, we got a spare. We should be fine. We're not really hitting too many highway speeds on this trip anyways, so we should be good. So back on the trail, still got our axles and our drive shaft. And a local on a side-by-side, he's rutting it up, having a good time. So let's keep moving. I don't know if you guys can see that, but there's a solar farm right there. So we are racing against the sun. Not liking some of the camp spots we've seen so far. Kind of trust your instincts on vibes. We like the WMA area. Maybe we should have looked a little harder there. Once we got out of it, it was nothing against rednecks. I am a redneck or hillbilly, whatever you want to say, but it started getting a little banjo-y out here. So we did see a place called Savage Creek RV Park. That's probably where we should have stopped and stayed. But, oh look, here it is. More of the solar farm. I don't know if you guys see that or not. There's sunset and solar farm and mud. Anyways, we passed the RV place. It looked booked, it looked packed, but they probably would have squeezed us in one more spot. But we didn't come out here to camp in RV parks the whole time, you know. So we're trying to make it up to the center of Georgia, and we think there might be some camp spots up there. Be kind of cool to camp right in the center. Oh, here's a good shot of it, guys. So it's just a massive solar farm. We saw it on the highway on the way down, and there's more. I'm sorry to keep spinning you guys around like that. Anyways, solar farm. Don't know how it's gonna show up on camera. Maybe just terrible filming. Maybe awesome. Maybe think it's cool. If you've ever seen it on the side of the highway, we're behind it. Pretty close to Warner Robins. And not that far from Macon, and we've done over 200 miles today, so pretty dang good day. It's over 7 hours of riding. If we can go 20-30 more minutes to find a spot and set up with a little bit of dusk, we'll be happy. So let's see. Okay, I did some bad map reading. There's like a little loop that's additional that's just like, I guess, a little fun area. Doesn't really progress you going further north. I thought this was the Piedmont National Wildlife Refuge area on the map because we're very close to the center of Georgia. That's where we just were. We just stopped and got our picture. But I guess it's just like a fun clay muddy pit. So let me show you this. So this is nasty. I don't want to try to drag the trailer through this and potentially get stuck and have to winch. And the sun just set. And basically all of this is private land, so there's nowhere to camp out here. So what I don't want to do is increase my workload if I can help it. So we're going to try to back up and we're going to skip this loop. We haven't skipped any really of the trail, very little. We've pretty much stayed on trail all day. But the thing is, this is just like an extra fun loop, and we really need to find a campground like now. So we're gonna get, you'll see it, but it's right past the geological center of Georgia. If you ride it, you can ride this area if you want. Just know there's no camping, and we're gonna try to figure out our way backing up this hill. And turn around up there. So that's it. Yeah. All right, so we pulled out of that area. We barely got the Jeep turned around, but tires are shaking real bad, and you can see we just caked up mud, and so balance is, I mean, I couldn't go more than 30 miles an hour. So I'm glad we didn't go any further down the road. We barely got turned around and out of there, and there was no winch points, so it would have been a mess. Not a great place to camp on private property. I mean, the road's a legal road, but yeah, we just found a stick, and I'll do the best I can to get all this off. Not much inside, but definitely a lot on the outside. Might even get our pressurized hose and spray it if it keeps causing problems. And it looks like we're probably gonna have to drive 30 to 40 minutes to find a good camp spot. So a late day for us, but we can sleep in and we'll be pretty far down the trail. Okay, so we're like near Griffin Lake Dam, and the road is closed. So there is a detour. We're going down Mountain Springs Road, and the long and the short of it is we're trying to make it up near Macon, and we've probably got about an hour drive. We're hating that we're missing, backing the trailer up, but we're hating that we're missing seeing a lot of this, and we don't like to really drive at night because you miss so much of the trail. Seeing the trail, and I like setting up in daytime, but being completely honest, I did not see a very good campground anywhere. Not even a campground, but a campsite. I know the WMA area we passed through was probably our best bet, but one thing you don't want to do at a WMA is just pull off and assume you can camp somewhere and end up getting a ticket. So that's why we didn't really want to stay in an RV park. So now we'll probably be up fairly late. The kids have slept most of the day. They're probably not going to want to go to sleep tonight. We're hungry. It's 7:30, but I think we have about an hour. We're going to try to make it to our campsite and set up. We'll have a ton of the trail done. Right now we're like 230 miles, so we'll see where this detail goes. I will report to you where the detour goes. So when you run this trail, because that looks permanently closed, there's like a mound blocking it and also a gate. So there's a sign that says detour this way. So when you're running it, just follow the detour sign and you should be fine. Okay, so just north of Warner Robins, past the center of Georgia, headed towards Macon. You're going to be on Mountain Springs Road. You're going to take a detour. You're going to go down Blake Road. Then it's going to run into Griswoldville Road. And you can connect back with Mountain Springs Road when it dumps out. Still a dirt road, still a gravel road. Looks to be a little bit shorter and a little bit more paved road, so it might be a little bit quicker tonight. That is in our favor. I'll probably check back in with you unless there's another detour once we make it to camp. So I said I wasn't going to check in until we got a campsite, but there is a car that is caught on fire in the road. And we don't really even know a bypass. You never know what you're going to see on the road, I guess. That's part of the adventure, so. Okay guys, we made it to Dames Ferry Campground. Nicole suggested we go here right off the bat. I drove all the way around Juliet Lake, looking at WMA, Dove Field, 3 campsites. They were full of like creepy vans, so we made it over here. She sweet talked the host, let us get this spot here tonight. Came in here pretty late. We did 300 miles a day. We're just north of Macon, and we should just go straight to bed, but instead, I'm cooking up a couple ribeyes. I'm going to be doing some steak tacos, some onion cilantro. It's going to be good. We got our gas fire going, tents up. Cheers. We'll get you all recapped in the morning, and we'll hit the trail. We are right across from the trail right now to get back on the Georgia Adventure Trail. Good night. Cheers.
What's that right here?
They got your cheeses.
Good morning from Gaines Ferry Campground here on Lake Juliet. We slept in pretty good. It's like 9 o'clock and standing in front of my muddy Jeep. But this ended up being a great campsite. Wish we would have came here right off the bat. And we were looking for something a little more overlandy. Let me hold on one second, guys. All right, there we go. Sorry, I was losing focus there. We were looking for something a little more overlandy. So if you're coming through this area around Lake Juliet, there's 2 WMA camping areas. We went there, and I kid you not, it was like Walter White vans, no lights on, super creepy. So Nicole found this one, and it wouldn't let us check in to the campsite because you have to check in like 48 hours in advance. So we just came by. I'm gonna turn you guys around. We just happened to come by, and they said, you know what, we got one more. You can pay us in the morning, set up, and enjoy. So we pulled in here. It's great. Okay, we weren't looking for campgrounds. We were looking for overlandy stuff, but this has got an epic view of Lake Juliet. It's absolutely beautiful, and we got a propane fire going here. About to make a little breakfast. We got the Jackery solar out. We've drained it down to about 60%, and we're getting about 30 watts this morning, so we're charging it back up. There is a plug in here if we wanted to charge it that way, but we're getting a little solar. Actually, we're getting 33 watts right now. Let me take you over to the lake. So this is my view out of my window this morning. Absolutely beautiful view. So let's make some breakfast. Let's hit the trail. All right, we're back on the trail and very glad that it had a little water crossing this morning. Last night we didn't want to cross this water in the dark. We didn't know what it would look like. We just saw it on the map that there's a water crossing, and we just wanted to find a campsite. So we drove around for probably 45 minutes to an hour trying to find a campsite last night just so we wouldn't pass the spot, because from where we're at, there is some dispersed camping a little further up the trail. If I'd have known it was that simple of a water crossing, I would have probably done it. But who knows? We had a great campsite and glad we stayed where we stayed. Good thing about the water crossing, before you saw me video me crossing it with the speed I did, I kind of pulled down and cleaned my wheels and tires out just a little bit, and then I made a nice little pass through. So I did that last little bit for the camera, but I'm hoping that helps because our tire balance was off terribly from the mud from yesterday. So I think there's a few more water crossings and that'll help as well. So let's keep on down the trail. It's a beautiful day. It's like 65 degrees and we're having a great time. Madison, we gassed up, and I'll have to be honest, the Bojangles smelled fantastic at the travel center. Kind of wanted to get some, but we've got a whole bunch of lunch stuff here. We don't really need any supplies. And I hate when I'm like overlanding and I stop at a lot of places to get supplies. Like I don't feel like I had adequate things. But anyways, we just went through the Piedmont Wildlife Refuge and loved that area. I know the locals are going to hear me say this and they're going to say shut up, but a great place to ride. Now keep in mind, it's just gravel roads. I didn't see a ton of camping, just a little bit. Nothing hard. It doesn't need to be rutted up, doesn't need to be wheeled hard. Tread lightly through there, but it's a beautiful area, a nice Sunday drive, nice water crossing. Did see a few places to camp, and definitely an area that if I lived close here, I'd probably go out there, you know, every other month or so and take a ride and maybe even get off on foot and explore a little bit. We've been putting the miles in heavy today. About to go through Oconee. Looking forward to that. It's a trail system I've been looking forward to for a while because it's close to me and I don't know what it looks like. Could be as easy as just gravel roads, but I'm interested to know what it looks like. One point I'd like to make, so I've noticed since we left Valdosta that Lakeland, Georgia would have been a pretty good stop for fuel or whatever, but Hawkinsville, probably your best prime place to get food and supplies. And then from there, we didn't gas up again until Madison. We just went through Madison. Tons of food options, parts stores, tool stores, plenty of gas. It got a little bit close. We thought about putting gas in our tank, cheap way, but didn't end up needing, to do that. So I would say if you're planning it, maybe go to Hawkinsville and then go to Madison. Worked out good for us. We're about to get back on the trail. Those have been the two biggest towns. Kudos to the guy that planned this out. We haven't gone through very many big towns, and that's been enjoyable. I did see on the map that there was a gas station around the entrance of that Piedmont area, but the way we took, we just passed it, didn't see it. So, we're trying to stop as little as possible. We did break every single one of our eggs and had to stop and get some more eggs. I've kind of rigged up our egg carton currently so that maybe it doesn't happen again. But really haven't gone through many big city centers. I think Madison's the biggest since we left Valdosta. So really cool so far. We'll see how far we can get. So we're at the Oconee River Campground, and we actually considered staying here tonight, or at least we were planning to stay here tonight when we were first planning out this trip, but we're kind of ahead of schedule. So we just stopped and we decided to make some lunch, cook up some hot dogs. The Oconee River's right there. There's guys fishing, and there's a nice little campground here, and it would be definitely a feasible spot on someone's trip. Looks like a great place to stop. We're gonna keep moving forward for sure, but looking forward to getting some of these hot dogs. It's interesting, we're near Crawford, Georgia, which is also near Crawfordville where I hunt. So I've actually went through a couple towns of Lexington. I pass through that every time I go hunting. Roll this window up. So this is kind of an area I'm familiar with, but I've never off-roaded before. But I kind of have a fear because I know how far it is from my house. We're about an hour and a half from my house. And that means where I'm hoping to camp is probably about an hour and a half. And that's on asphalt. You know, we're still doing off-road, so I'm a little nervous we're going to have a later night. But kids are sleeping right now. Get their miles in because we'd like to have a shorter day tomorrow. I didn't know it was possible for us to even complete the trail, and it's looking like not an issue at all. Just got to make sure we get up maybe near Toccoa tonight. What's quail?
Oh, really?
Yeah, 2 quail. We saw some deer, and we're passing over some really sketchy bridges right now. And there was a sign that says it'll hold 11 tons, but I'm not so sure it couldn't even hold my Jeep. Alright, we'll keep rolling. Alright guys, so we are on Olsley Mills Road, just outside of Comer, and you know, it shows it to be a public road, but whoever owns this property here has got a road closed sign up. And at first I thought there's actually 3 roads, but they're definitely all driveways. I think someone has illegally put up a road closed sign because we can see that that's where the water crossing is. But maybe he's won his easement, who knows? So we're gonna tell you how to detour around it. Because I really don't, I do see how we can get back on it. So we're gonna do a little bit of pavement and we're gonna get back onto that road. We'll just miss that water crossing. And you know, we're trying to find a camp spot. I'm afraid it's gonna be an hour and a half. And we've got 30 minutes till sunset, probably 45 minutes to an hour of daylight left. So it's not ideal for us, but we're gonna go until we get to that dispersed camping. That is for sure. We're closing in on 500 miles done. Let's find out how we can get back on the trail. Alright guys, what we did is we hopped on East Paoli Road and then we connected to Vineyards Creek Church Road. We missed a section of dirt and off-road, and I think you could connect onto it a little faster than we are, but this one was clear on Gaia that it was going to run right into the trail. The other one, sometimes it'll look like you're going to run into a trail, like if you've ever gone to Dawson Forest, you're like on Kelly Bridge Road, you're like, I have to be right there at Dawson Forest, but there's just woods between you and it. So this for sure, this Vineyard Creek Road looks like it's going to run right back into the trail, and we just missed a water crossing and then maybe a mile or 2 of dirt road. So that's fine. We've done 500 miles of dirt road. I think this little detour will be just fine. And yeah, road's closed. Nothing else we can do. This is the way we're going to get back onto it. So if you're riding this same route, just look for Vineyard Creek Road and then it'll get you back on. Okay, we are at Hudson River Road and found that it is closed. There's a sign up, looked like a state sign, and where are we trying to get to? Hanley Road?
Yeah, Hanley River Road is what's closed, or Hanley Road is what's
Hanley
closed.
Road's what's closed, and we were on Hudson River Road trying to connect to it. Looks like you're going through somebody's yard, basically. So we're gonna get back on. It is 326. Take a right, and it looks like it connects right back to the trail. So no, shouldn't be any problems there. All right, guys, we made it to the Lake Russell WMA, and it's where we're camping tonight. We got a dispersed camp spot. It's actually a nice, really cool spot. Weather's nice. It's warm, like 60. It's quiet. Not much going on out here. And I'm cooking some ravioli with some Italian turkey sausage. You want to check that out? Cheese and mushroom ravioli. Got a little sausage going here. Yum. Kids are hanging out by the fire. And we got the tent set up. And we are gonna eat and go to bed. What do you want to tell them, Abby? We camping?
Yeah.
Nice. Good morning from Lake Russell WMA. Whew, I'm tired. Okay, one more day. Let me show you guys where we are. So here is the Georgia Adventure Trail going through Lake Russell WMA. And here's a little dispersed campsite. This is not to say anything bad about the guy that made the Georgia Adventure Trail map. But of all the dispersed campsites, this is probably the best one. And all the others, I think he might have been selecting for motorcycles or something, adventure bikes, because I don't know how we would have fit our Jeep in most of them, and they just didn't seem very good. There are sites along the way that will work for you on the trail, but this is the best one for sure. Most spacious, plenty of room, fire ring, and it's right off of the main road, so we're hopping back on the trail, which is great. When we started the adventure, we saw that it said it was going to take about 580 miles. Well, we've done about 580 miles. I think we actually have about 50 or 60 left. We are headed towards Charlie's Creek and the North Carolina border. We're hoping to be done by like 1 or 2 o'clock today, so then we can get back home. Our house is like 2 hours away, and pressure wash this thing. Didn't sleep that well last night. We had a rainstorm come through, and the kids were a little bit rowdy in their sleep last night, so maybe got 4 hours of sleep, something like that. But we dried the tent off. We're skipping breakfast, just ate some PB&Js, and we're hopping in, and let's get to North Carolina as fast as we can. Maybe we'll celebrate with a cheeseburger and a hot shower and all that good stuff. But it's been really fun. This was a good site. If you're coming through the Lake Russell WMA, just know that there's the Lake Russell Campground as well. We thought about going there, but we saw it was closed for the winter season. So double check your dates. But if you're spring, summer, fall, you should be okay. And it looked to be a large campsite right off the trail. So we're going to get back to it. Let's go. I do want to mention one more thing. Since we knew we've only got a couple hours left, I went ahead and filled up. Let me tan this down. I've got my 5-gallon gas can here. Went ahead and put it in the tank. We were at about a quarter tank of gas, and I'm not sure that we passed any gas stations. We haven't gotten gas since we were in Madison, Georgia. So got our pressurized water tank here. It's not completely empty, but it's pretty dang close. We went ahead and sprayed down some of the wheels and stuff like that. And then I keep 5 gallons of water on the other side. We went ahead and used that, washing dishes, washing hands, and poured it out. Basically lightening this up of maybe 10 gallons of liquids, so there's another 80 pounds. Just thought that was if you're on your last day of the trip and you don't think you're going to need some of that stuff, it's always great to not pull as much weight. Between that, burning propane, eating food, going through your water supply, I think we're getting lighter and lighter as the day goes. A lot of the trips I take, we're burning firewood along the way. We just get lighter and lighter, so just a little thought. Alright, that's it, guys. We finished it. I think this yellow marker here is the state line. There is no sign for it. So we did 615 miles from Florida to North Carolina. This road dead ends, so we're turning around and headed right back down past Charlie's Creek. We're tired. It took us a few minutes shy of 24 hours of actual drive time. Now, we could have saved an hour. One night we were looking for a campsite. We were driving around. That might have been about 15 of our miles. So we could have done it in probably 600 miles, 23 hours, something like that. Every night I paused it when we stopped so we didn't keep running our timer. But absolutely awesome trail, and I recommend it to anyone. I even had a thought coming through the trail today. You pass Charlie's Creek, you can take a left there and do about 3/4 of the Georgia Traverse to tie it in and do, you know, a big horseshoe. I mean, it'd be a ton more. We did it in 3 days. I do not recommend that. That was, you know, 10-hour days, wheeling at night. I recommend doing it in 4 days, maybe 5, and be picky with your campsites and take your time to find them. I will mention that we're still running on the same tank of gas from Madison. I didn't see a gas station today. I know you could have driven out of your way to find one, but I used the 5 gallons I brought with us, and we're at a quarter tank right now, so we would have been out of gas had we not gone out of our way to try to find one. But we tried to stay on the trail as absolutely much as possible. We deviated very little, stayed on the track that was provided. So what I want to do for you guys is put the link to the website where I found this trail in the description below so you guys can find it. And instead of me talking at the end of this video for, you know, 10, 15, 20 minutes recapping the whole thing, what I'd like to do is do a recap video where I walk through with me and my wife and the map and tell you kind of what we think about different areas. But right now we're really tired. We're ready to get home. I am going to show you really quickly the how the trailer's looking at the moment and the Jeep, and I'm going to do a walk around video on my trailer. If you have any interest in seeing you know, this trailer that we've taken with us from Florida all the way to North Carolina, doing, I'd say, 90% off-road, and it's handled it awesome. My cooking setup, I've done a video of that. Check out my review of the Rockman fabrication drawer system. But let me turn you guys around real quick. So Jeep's fairly dirty, and I've cleaned the wheels out a couple times now. Trailer's fairly dirty. Glad we brought this cover. That kept a lot of our gear from getting too dusty. But that's it. 615 miles. Slept 3 nights in that. Again, I'll start a recap for you. I'll do a recap video with a good bit of information. Just in case you don't watch that, let me leave you with 2 little tidbits. If you decide to start right here where I'm standing in North Carolina, it'd be great for you to stay at the Tallulah campgrounds or Sandy Bottoms campgrounds. That'd be a great place to start. Get a good night's sleep and go from there. If you're starting in Valdosta, we really enjoyed the Jennings KOA. That put us 5-10 minutes from the start of the trail, so that was perfect. Could you just drive from wherever and just start it? Sure. We wanted a fresh start in the morning, and we wanted the best opportunity to try to finish it. Honestly, we had planned to just make it to Athens. We didn't think we could make it here. We drove a little further than we should have, looking for good campsites. Oh, sorry. There's not a ton marked on the map that you can download, and the ones that are on there, the dispersed sites, they're small, and they're definitely not the best. We found staying in campgrounds was a little bit easier, especially after riding all day, but you could find some stuff. You're just gonna have to take your time. Like I said, plan to do it for 4 or 5 days. We did the Traverse in 4 days. We could probably do it in 3. I would much rather do it in 4 or 5 days. So I'm gonna leave you guys with that. I will say, couldn't have done this trip without Fox shocks, Sumo springs, my Timbren axles on the trailer. None of those guys are sponsors, but I mean, we just beat this thing up. The JKS suspension, Steer Smart steering. We've just beat this Jeep to pieces. So glad it did good. We were on Nitto tires. Never had to use the winch, never had to do any recovery, but used 4Low a couple times. I definitely would recommend at least 33s for this trail. Again, I'll do a recap video. I don't want to stand here talking for 5-10 minutes, and I'll do a full recap video, and I'll do a walk around on the trailer. So thanks for watching. If you saw this whole thing, please give me a subscribe, follow us, hit that bell, and I hope there's an adventure in your future. I'm Jeep and Bubba. Eat your prunes. We'll be seeing you.